Every language you've ever spoken was invented by people. But according to Judaism, Hebrew wasn't. In fact, Jewish tradition makes an even stranger claim, that before there was a world, before atoms or stars, before there was anything at all, Hebrew already existed. And those letters didn't just describe reality, they created it, which is why Jewish thinkers have searched the Hebrew language for hidden truths about the universe itself. Clues hidden in words, in letters, even in numbers. So what is the secret reality hiding inside the Hebrew language? To understand why Jews think the Hebrew language is so unique, we have to go back to the beginning, like the literal beginning. The Torah opens with an unexpected pattern. And God said, "Let there be light." And God said, "Let there be land." And God said, again and again. Creation in the Torah unfolds through the spoken word. Now, on one level, that could simply be a metaphor, a flowery way of describing God's creative power. But Jewish tradition often understands it much more literally, that the universe was spoken into existence by God in Hebrew. Another interpretation imagines the Torah existing even before the world itself, not as a book sitting on a shelf somewhere, but as a primordial blueprint for all of creation. Or as one famous interpretation says, God looked into the Torah and created the world. Hold up, doesn't the Torah describe events that occurred well after creation? Eve eating the forbidden fruit, Noah building his ark, Moses splitting the sea. So what does it mean that the Torah is the blueprint of all creation? Shockingly, the rabbis have a few different opinions. One interpretation is that the blueprint doesn't refer to the written Torah as we know it, but to God's divine will before it was actualized as the words of the Torah. Another explanation digs deeper into the formulation of the Torah itself. Take a look at this Torah scroll. See something missing? Exactly. There's no punctuation, no em dash, no commas, not even a period. It's just one long stream of words that can be divided many ways, leading to endless layers of meanings. So when God looked into the Torah before the universe existed, God first shaped the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Each letter held a profound symbolism. Water, fire, air, life, peace, the five senses, and all of creation emerged from combining these letters in different ways. This relationship between language and the universe is totally counterintuitive because most of us think of letters and characters and language as a human invention. We create words to describe a world that already exists. But Judaism puts forth a much more radical claim. Language isn't merely describing reality, it's the very basis of reality. And some Jewish thinkers take this even further. They believe that the words of creation aren't merely a record of something that happened once and then ended. Instead, they believe that the world continues to exist only because God continues to speak it into existence, all the time, constantly. According to these thinkers, creation wasn't a singular event, it's an ongoing process, like a rushing river that never stops flowing. The words of creation are still being spoken, right now, which sounds beautiful, but also impossible. Because for most languages across human history, we look at a thing, agree on a sound, and that's what we call it. This is fire, this is water, this is a tree. The word fire doesn't burn you, the word water doesn't make you wet. There's nothing inherently tree-ish about the word tree, but in Judaism, the relationship runs in the opposite direction. Names aren't arbitrary labels pasted onto reality after the fact. They reveal a hidden truth about the thing itself. After God created the first human, he gave him an assignment. Name the animals. Adam didn't choose random names. He looked at each animal and chose a Hebrew name that described its essence, something that encapsulated each animal's spirit and its most inherent qualities. The word dog, kelev, is formed from the words kelev, like a heart, or kol lev, all heart, a name that perfectly captures a dog's unconditional love. For centuries, Jewish thinkers kept coming back to this idea. Hebrew words aren't random. They capture something essential about the things they name. And if that's true of words, it's also true of the letters that make them up. Their order, their sounds, their shapes. Take the letter Yud, the 10th and tiniest letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Half a line, barely taking up any space at all. And yet, Jewish thinkers saw that tiny point as representing something profound, existence emerging from beyond space itself. So it's no coincidence that Yud is the first letter of God's most sacred four-letter name. But Jewish thinkers didn't stop with uncovering the meaning behind every letter's form. They also believed that the letters contained another layer of mystical significance. Remember writing notes as a kid in what you thought was a super secret and totally unbreakable code, where each letter is replaced by a number, like A is 1 and B is 2 and so forth? Well, Judaism takes this idea and runs with it. This ancient system is called Gematria. In Gematria, every letter has a unique numerical value. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph, is 1, Bet is 2, Gimel is 3, and so on. Take the Hebrew word Chai, meaning life. The letter Chet corresponds to 8. The letter Yud corresponds to 10. Add them together and you get 18, which is why in Judaism, the word life is associated with the number 18. So the number 18 pops up again and again and again in Jewish charitable giving. It's also why all of my wedding gift checks came in multiples of 18. Here's another one. The Hebrew word echad, meaning 1, has a numerical value of 13, and so does the Hebrew word ahava, meaning love. That's not a coincidence, but a clue that unity and love are deeply connected. Now, whether you find Gematria profound or unconvincing, and Jews are divided on this, the larger point here is hard to miss. Jewish thinkers treated Hebrew not just as a language, but as a system hiding deeper truths about the nature of reality. And once you start thinking about Hebrew this way, a lot of other Jewish ideas begin to make more sense, including Gematria. Because if the letters themselves brought forth all of creation, why wouldn't every letter carry meaning? The same letters that brought the universe into being are still sustaining it right now. Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi took this idea even further, arguing that if God were to stop speaking the world into existence for even a single moment, everything would simply cease to exist. Now here's the thing. Whether you believe God literally speaks the world into existence or that speech is a metaphor for a process far beyond human understanding, the larger idea remains. Judaism is making a startling claim about reality itself, that language isn't merely something human beings invented to describe the world, it's woven into the structure of the world itself, which leads to one final question. If words can create worlds, what does that mean for us? Because every day human beings do something similar. We bring things into being with words. An apology repairs something broken. A wedding ceremony establishes a new marriage. But we have the power to destroy with words too. A lie shatters trust. A rumor can wreck a reputation. A few sentences over text can literally change the course of someone's life. And that's maybe the real reason Jewish thinkers were so obsessed with language in the first place. Words don't merely reflect reality, they create it. And that's a power every one of us uses every single day.